Welcome back. We are back with Patrick Olson from Carfax talking about counterfeit airbags and answering your questions, but we're also talking about any automotive questions that you may have. So make sure you just text the number right there at the bottom of your screen. All things cars. So we're going to start here. Is it all right to buy an airbag from the salvage center?
It absolutely is not. The issue with airbags are multifold. One, for a car that's been salvaged or is in the junkyard, you don't know if it's been in a crash. You don't know if the wiring or some other part of that airbag got damaged. Secondly, that airbag could be part of the Takata airbag recall. So that started 10 years ago in 2014. It's 19 automakers, more than 40 million vehicles nationwide were recalled because the chemicals in them can mix, and much like a counterfeit airbag, they can explode with way too much force. 27 people have been killed in this country from Takata airbags. More than 400 have been injured. So I would absolutely not buy an airbag from a salvage yard. It's just too hard to know if that bag is going to work, and there is no easy way to test it. A test for an airbag is to deploy it. So I would avoid those.
Yeah, and those numbers are just devastating to hear. The next question here, you know, sometimes when we are on a long road trip, we like to put our feet up on the dashboard and chill and relax, especially if you're not sitting in the back seat. How dangerous is that when it comes to airbags?
It is incredibly dangerous. You know, back 20 years ago, a lot of cars only had an airbag just for the driver. Today's newer cars have 10 to 15 airbags in them, and almost certainly there is one in front of the front passenger. And so when you see people in cars, they've got their foot up there, they're going to Florida, they're going to Maine, it's incredibly dangerous. The airbag will explode, and that can drive your leg into your face or into your chest. That can lead to unbelievably painful injuries, and frankly, can lead to deaths. So, you know, I know a lot of teenage riders enjoy doing that. It is just not worth the danger.
Yeah, certainly. And since we're on the topic of long road trips during the summer, what are some beneficial things to have in your car in the case it breaks down or you get into some trouble?
Yeah, absolutely. You should have what I call a summer survival kit. So first of all, make sure you've got a gallon of drinking water. So in case you wind up on the side of the road and it's a hot day, and I know in North Carolina you get some really hot ones, you want to make sure you have enough water to keep you and your family safe. Bring some food items that are going to hold up the heat. Think granola bars or some other sort of nut-based bar, as long as you're not allergic to them, because then you don't want to melt. Bring some warm blankets. I know that may sound counterintuitive, right? You're thinking it's summertime, but I don't need is more heat. But at nighttime, particularly in the mountains, in northern locations, it can get pretty cold. And if you are stuck in your car, you're going to want that blanket for warmth. The other thing I really recommend for families is bring a box of gallon-sized Ziploc bags. If you have kids who frequently get car sick, those gallon-sized bags will save you a lot of cleanup mess and will also make sure you're not smelling that for the next 3,000 miles. In addition, if your kids are using towels, they've been swimming and the towels are wet and you don't want the wet towels just lying around, you can put them in the Ziploc bag, close them up, and save them for when you can get to a washing machine.
Our next question here from a viewer, is it true that airbags have jet fuel in them?
Thankfully, they do not. But what they do have is a mix of chemicals. And what happens is, in a normal situation, when your car gets hit, these chemicals mix together, they create an explosion that rapidly fills the airbag to protect the driver, protect the passengers. And then immediately it starts deflating so that the force of the airbag itself isn't going to injure you. As we talked about earlier with the Takata airbags, those chemicals, when they're exposed over time to heat and humidity, they can get moisture inside of those chemicals. That can lead to that situation we talked about where they explode with way too much force, injuring or killing people. But thankfully, they do not use jet fuel inside of airbags.
Okay. Are replacement windshields the same thickness as the original?
I would say in most cases, yes. It has become even more critical as a lot of cars these days have safety equipment. So automatic braking and blind spot warning and other safety systems that require sensors that literally look right through the front of your windshield. It's crucial that you get a windshield that matches that when it gets replaced. And because of that, you also want to make sure that the replacement company is doing what we call recalibration. They are retesting all of those safety systems to make sure they can see what they need to see and react in the way they need to react to keep you safe.
All right, well, we are going to pause right here. Again, remember, we are talking about all things automotive. So if you have some questions about your car and you have some concerns, we have an expert here that is ready to answer your questions.